Welcome back, guys. It's Kibla Ahmedar. I got G-Man in Singapore. It's the Brothers Geek Out podcast, episode 116. How you been, bro? You alright?
I've been good, brother. I've been good. Just almost getting back to normality, bro. This week, I got back to the gym. The gym's open. Got back to some martial arts. It was so good to kick the bag and some pads. Get back to some jiu-jitsu training. It's a bit different, right? We're doing solo. For jiu-jitsu, obviously there's no 1 meter distance. You got to keep close. So the rules are you got to have minimum people in the gym and blah, blah, blah. But jiu-jitsu and MMA and wrestling and whatnot, there is no distance. You're close. So we're doing all solo drills and using jiu-jitsu dummies and all that sort of stuff. But just to get back out, bro, just to be in the gym, just to be up at 5 o'clock again, get back into my 5 a.m. routine and work out, it's so good. It's so good. Just
refreshing.
Normality feels good. Yeah. But yeah, and just like, today we done MMA and wrestling, and you know what the coach was like, we're going to go through the basics, right? Because a lot of people are joining now because normally his MMA class is tough. And his group of guys they're tough. Put it this way, they've been battered a few times. Yeah. But since it's all solo drills, everyone's joining and whatnot because there is no beating up or anything. So it was a popular class. So he was like, you know what? If you guys want to join, let's go back to basics. Because a lot of people don't know really how to punch. No, put it this way, walk. When you walk, right, you can't run without walking, right?
Yeah.
In martial arts, you got to learn how to walk in martial arts. You got to know the footwork. You got to know your distance, how your feet should be split apart. They shouldn't be, completely horizontal to each other. Just to have balance, you got to have balance on each and all that sort of stuff. So a lot of people don't know how to walk. So he was like, we're going to start from the basics. We're going to learn how to walk in martial arts. So it was awesome. I freaking loved it. And for someone who's experienced, he's like, gee, just switch your stance, do southpaw, because normally I'm orthodox, right? Left leg forward, power hand in the back. He's like, look, this is basic for you, so I want you to just switch it. Now you're going to be southpaw, now you're right leg forward, and you're going to learn the basics that way, which I could do anyway, but just to go back to the beginner level with that stance has been awesome. But that's been awesome. It's been amazing. And just learning the basics of wrestling, going back to the basics is absolutely awesome as well. I mean, I've always learned wrestling within MMA and stuff, but I've never been able to actually do a class and learn the basics. So that was tough work, man. Wrestlers are some conditioned athletes, put it that way. Just by learning the basics, I realized how conditioned these athletes are. But other than that, bro, it's been awesome. Just getting out, meeting friends, going for lunch and brunch and dinners, and so amazing. So amazing. So loving it. Getting back to normal. Just need the cinema. And my life is good right now. And traveling, obviously.
Yeah. We haven't hit restaurants yet. It was something that we spoke about, but it's something we haven't done yet. Cinema I'm looking forward to. I mean, like, the general shopping has changed as well. And I know that the UK, they're going to soon go into the 1 meter rule soon. But let's see what happens. I'm not sure if there's a second wave coming. There's a lot of protesting had that happened 2 weeks ago. We don't know if any of them have become cases now. So it's all about being safe and seeing people's response and seeing what's been happening at the moment. So other than that, bro, interesting times. I can't give too much details at the moment now, but some good news this week that happened. So I will share with the guys, I think, in the next couple of weeks. I'll build up to it and then I'll let you guys know. Working on my art, guys. So, guys, make sure you're following us on our journey. Make sure you're checking us out on SoundCloud. Type in Brothers Geek Out Podcast. You can always stream us there now. Make sure you're following Gilman187 on Instagram on his journey. And mine as well, guys. Kibla Ahmedar. I've been doing loads of artwork recently. I've been on some art courses while I was on furlough at work. So, I'm back at work now. So, I'm still doing the artwork, but I've become much more confident in digital art and sketching. It's changed my whole art style. I think this time gave me, I don't know, man. It's weird to find my style, to find my art style, to find me more comfortable drawing people as well. So I did some life drawing classes. I did some comic art classes. So it was just mixing, my style, because I love comic book artwork, with, real life people. So yeah, it worked out really well. I'm using images, and I've got some customers. I'm doing some work at the moment, so guys, I've got special offer on. Check it out.
You're getting really good at imagery of people,
Yeah.
like real life people, like getting really good humans, females. Yeah, literally, there's a big difference to what I've seen before to now. And when I mean before to now, I'm talking maybe if I said 5 years ago even, like, yeah, you're getting very good, very good. Whatever you learn and everything, you can really see your progress with your recent artwork. I loved that Malcolm X, Ali, and Martin Luther King one. Like, you could just see when you were putting up the just the beginning sketches, you can already see who these people are. Just you already had the postures, you already had the facial, the features already up there.
Yeah.
No, very good, bro. I'm really I've seen it. You know, I see your artwork every day, and I've seen the progress, and I'm like, wow, some of these are really, really good. So yeah, keep it up, man.
No, we'll do. I mean, now I've got more of a look. I've always loved doing art, and I've always tried to do like comic book art, which is more fictional characters. I think now with what's happened and what I've learned, and putting a message in an image, having great posture in an image, and lines, like I've understood line work more, and you know, I've always tried to get that detail of how do I make this more lifelike, but that's not my style. My style is still comic book artwork. So how do I make it resemble the person I'm drawing? So like when I was doing Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali and them, I mean, these guys played a great, what's the word? They had a great impact when they were on this world. Yeah, and you know, over the time, they haven't been forgotten. They've always been there. But I don't know, the image for me was to put a message out there for, I mean, you had the Black Lives Matter, and it's still an issue, and it's still a problem. And it was to remind people that these were the guys that, you know, were on the forefront before, and we don't have, the problem is nowadays, we don't have forefront people like that. There is the one or two, not saying they're fully not there, but these guys, you know, they made a massive difference then, and we need more people to step up like that as well when they're coming from, depending whatever background they're coming from, that they work on it, man, you know, get it out there. My artwork seems to have a better message I want to put out there, a better positive message as well. So like, I don't just do artwork now, I want to be able to make a difference and inspire in the process as well. So I think I had my hardships from last year, innit? I suppose being in this pandemic and being safe, being with my family, it gave me that time to work on my artwork and myself as well, I suppose, because, you know, my backup plan was I didn't know if I was going to have a job after being on furlough, you know what I mean? That was the main worry. But things have changed there, so yeah, no, definitely, man, I'm excited to share that stuff as well. So massive shout outs to everybody that supports the artwork, my customers, you guys are awesome. I'm always thankful, because I wouldn't have got to where I got to if it wasn't for the people that supported the artwork and the family around me and my friends. You know, some people would have just given up by now, and to be honest now, it's not like it's just something I enjoy doing. Yes, Daddy.
Yeah. No, agreed, man. That's the same thing with this podcast. Like, regardless of how many views and all that sort of stuff, just consistency, right? You can't give up. Like, if you enjoy something doing it, just don't give up. Just keep doing it. And whether it works or not, and at least you tried. You know, end of the day, regardless of what happens, at least you tried.
No, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard pill to swallow if it doesn't work out how you want it. But at least you tried. If you didn't try, then it's difficult. I've always had this thing. Well, I'm gonna try again, but the thing with the MMA fights, 2 times now, it hasn't worked out for me after long training camps and just coming right to the end. And it's always a thing in my head when I'm like, I wish I could just get out of the way. And then this year was supposed to happen again. You know, I was speaking to my coach end of last year and then the beginning of this year, and then the pandemic hits. So I'm not even thinking about it. So I just, you know, but it's about trying. It's about getting through that. You know, interesting fact though, with Muhammad Ali, you know, he's a Bengali citizen, yeah? You know, he went to Bangladesh and they tried to claim him. They're like, yeah, just take a passport. I think he was so impactful to the world, so impactful that any country and anyone just wanted him as one of his own. They wanted to claim him as one of their own. I don't want to geek out too much, but he's such an amazing influence.
No, of course,
I mean,
he is.
When you talk about sacrifice, he, in the prime of his career, gave up the heavyweight belt because of his beliefs of not going to war. His beliefs, the prime of his career, gave that up, and then when he came back and become champion again, absolutely amazing. That's a proper inspiration. He gave up the heavyweight champion of the world, man. That's got such a prestige to it, especially back then in boxing. Like, unbelievable. That's such an inspirational guy, and yeah, it's emotional thinking about how someone so great that just gave up his heavyweight champion of the world. Can you imagine that, bro? That's the baddest man on the planet, right? That heavyweight. I know the UFC's changed a little bit of things, right? So now the UFC heavyweight is truly the baddest man on the planet just because of the fighting ability. But back then, right, like, the heavyweight champion of the world was known as the baddest man on the planet, and he gave that all up just to not go to war, knowing that the war's wrong and we shouldn't be there and shouldn't be killing people. His faith taught him that, his humanity taught him that, and he gave that up. What an inspirational guy, man. You got to love the dude. You got to, yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, no, cool, man. Everything's been awesome. Yeah, let's see, bro. Let's see. Hey, you know, with the cinema thing, I was listening to Batman and Fat Man Beyond, and they were geeking out, obviously, about the Michael Keaton news and whatnot. And that's when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, it is really legit. Even though he's always saying, listen, sometimes some of the shit we talk is cheese, but it's proper legit. They were saying with the cinema, one way to get people in there, they're re-releasing old movies, like old school Jurassic Park and, you know, just old movies like the Avengers and classic movies are going to come out in the cinema, as well as some new ones and whatnot. But I think to get people back in there, it's just to throw old movies back in there.
I'm happy for that, bro.
I say get Endgames back in there with all the deleted scenes, let that revenue grow a bit more. But no, listen, man, if they show some classic movies, why not? I would go. I can't. There was some I know that they mentioned when I was like, I'll do that, but I can't remember off the top of my head now.
I hope they do Back to the Future again, because I had tickets last month for Back to the Future. They've got a few, man. Blade Runner's going to pop up again, The Thing. So it's interesting that they're going to do that, because I heard that podcast as well, and then I started seeing news come up on the local cinemas that are going to play it once they open up. So it's interesting. It's a nice way to bring back cinema lovers, man, and cinema goers. Like, you know, for me to get to see Back to the Future on the big screen is always a pleasure, but even all the other movies as well, man. So I want to see Ghostbusters again. Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, no, I'll be up for that. I hope they adopt that in Singapore. 100%, I'll be at the cinema once a week. 100%. So let's hope they adopt that. That's a brilliant way to get people back in. Just show your classic movies, man. I'm 100% on it, man. I'm not scared of this virus no more. I know there will be a phase 2, but I think they've learned a lot in the last 6 months. They're probably expecting a phase 2, and you know, we'll see what happens. But I think we generally know that the virus is not going to kill half the population of the planet now. It's not going to Thanos everyone. So I think there's a good, you know, we should take it serious still, but you know, we know it's not as deadly as we once thought it was.
There's
so, you know, the phase 2 can come, they'll be more prepared. Let's get back to reality, man. Let's get back to normality.
No, of course. All right, man, let's head off into the movie news. Anyway, let's start with Michael Keaton returning back as the Dark Knight and the Tim Burton version of Batman in the new Flashpoint movie. Now this is I know this one kicked off last week. There's loads of images coming up. He's not going to be playing Thomas Wayne.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm happy with it. No, I'm more happy with him playing Batman, to be honest, rather than coming back as Thomas Wayne.
I don't think he's going to put the suit on. It looks like some of the rumors. It says that he's only going to be back as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, they're saying he's going to be like some kind of Nick Fury type character in the Batman, in the DC universe, in the DC multiverse.
Yeah.
He's back. We talked about it on the live Instagram the other day, bro. What I say then, I still believe now. Like, there's so much potential that this is DC's step up. Yeah. Marvel done the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They are coming out with their multiverse, right? And Spider what's the Spider-Man cartoon that came out? What have I gone blank? Miles Morales. Yeah, that one is that was a multiverse anyway, kind of, right? But this is DC's step up, man. And getting Michael Keaton back as Batman is the most epic move they can make. I'm telling you. And they got we talked about this again, I'm geeking out already. They got so much potential, bro. Like, okay, the Flash show that they had, you know, the DC show where they had the big crossover and then the DC movie Flash entered. Okay, listen. I watched that show. It was still iffy or whatnot. But that scene a little bit got me excited.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was like, oh shit, for you to enter the TV programs, that you are a basic Flash. But still, anyway, it was still awesome, right?
Yeah.
But listen, think about the potential, man, that they could do with this, man. Michael Keaton's Batman. They could throw Ben Affleck's Batman back in there. This new Robert Pattinson's Batman. I think what they might be doing is excluding Batman and Robin. So Val Kilmer and George Clooney, you lose. I think they might, you know, get rid of that.
Yeah.
But Christian Bale, if they want, bro, think about the potential, man. Think about it.
It's gonna be mad. It's absolutely mad. It's all about the story they pick now, bro. Like, they need to be so smart with this. If they're gonna make this a good movie, they need to be smart with it, man. They don't want it to be convoluted where it's confusing and messy. Warner Brothers are used to doing that, and I don't know why, because they have the best leading actors in their roles. Don't mess the story up, man. Have a good script, you know. Don't have it messy, and don't meddle in it. Let the director do his vision. You know what I mean? Like, they leave this director to do what he wants to do, and the script's good. You're gonna get a great movie. If you do I'll always take Christopher Nolan's the way he took Batman. He told the studio, give me this, let me deal with it, don't come and meddle with it. I think by the end, you can notice that the studio played a lot of part. Like Dark Knight Rises, it's still a great movie, but there are some things in there where you're like, studio, you know. Christopher Nolan is amazing at what he does.
I agree.
So you give him full creativity.
Take your time. Take your time. Doesn't have to be one movie, guys. Please, it doesn't have to be in one movie. It can be in 10 movies, whatever. Just take your time with it. Please, don't fuck it up.
The problem is, I don't think they're gonna do it as one movie, bro.
Take your time. No. I heard Mark Bernardin say Mr. Keaton is signed up for multiple movies.
Oh shit.
That's what I heard. I hope I heard Mark Bernardin say that. So we're talking about multiple movies, bro. Like, please take your time. Make 5-10 movies,
that'd
whatever, man.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to hearing that. That's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, I do think that they should have done a trailer. Or I don't know. I kind of feel like, okay, we know the news. Amazing. Could you imagine, bro? We didn't know, right? And then they do a Flash trailer. And then we do the Flash trailer, right? Oh, like, all right, cool, let's check out the Flash trailer, Flashpoint, blah, 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 blah. And remember when we saw Captain America and Spidey had his little entrance and we were like, oh my God, bro, imagine that. A trailer, and then you see Michael Keaton as Batman in that trailer, bro. That will blow up the internet. That would have blown up the internet. Now we know. Now it's a bit different, but still. But anyway, bro, DC, man, it's DC's time to shine. I think Marvel's always gonna have a step up because they're already ahead of the game. But this will just put DC back in the running with some great movies, some great stories, and just some crossovers, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. I say bring Ben Affleck back. You know, Henry Cavill, bring his Superman back, right? We want to see him as Superman still. You know, I want Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. There was rumors, again, this was on Fat Man and Batman, they were saying that even Mr. Green Lantern, what's his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds apparently is in talks with I keep calling them all Mr. right now,
Snyder.
Who's the director? Why am I going blank on everything, man? Justice League, the new Justice League reboot thing that they're doing. Snyder, yeah, he's in talks with him to come back as Green Lantern for certain scenes or whatnot. Bro, even though that movie's shit, that's still epic, bro. That's still awesome. I think that'd be amazing. Why not? And even though Ryan Reynolds kind of took the piss and cussed that character, Hey, I
It'd be
think
good to
it's
rephrase
awesome.
it, bro.
Yeah, I don't think he has to replay it. But why not for that film and then just recast it in a new universe? Or hey, this multiverse, bro. There's a multiverse. Why not bring him in with another Green Lantern? Like, bro,
John Stewart or
DC's got
something.
options now. And DC has found their way, I think, to link everything. Just do the multiverse. They found their way, man. This could be their way. Just do it properly, please.
No, of course.
Take your time. Take your time.
Super exciting. It's really. We've got some great news.
And like you said, man, maybe, like I said, make the first movie, have some movies in between, then make the second one, right? The in-between movies, have them linked to the Flashpoint like we were talking about. Maybe, during like we said, like an Aquaman movie, something happens during that movie where it indicates that it's linked to Flashpoint. Stuff like that, man. Like, be as creative as possible, man. But just take your time. Do it through 10 movies. Do it through 50 movies. Whatever you got to do, just take your time. And we're going to have some epic stuff going on, man.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that. I'm very interested. I mean, for me now, it's story, man. As long as they got a good script, good story, then everything else kind of pans itself out. It'll be all right.
Yep, 100%.
On other movie news, Margot Robbie to star in a new Pirates of the Caribbean for Disney.
How many have they made of that movie? 5?
They made about 6 of them or something, bro.
Okay.
But that should play the main lead. So should be
no
like
more Johnny
Captain
Depp?
Sparrow. No Johnny Depp.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, she'll do the character great, I think, because of her Harlequin acting and whatnot. So I think she'll definitely put something on. But does anyone? Maybe people want to see it. I don't know. I don't think
there's
I'll be
a fan
interested
base.
as
There
much.
is a fan base. I mean, for me, after number 3, it just lost me.
Yeah, I'm not interested anymore in that movie, to be honest with you.
Had a good soundtrack, but that's why it for me.
It's Hans Zimmer, man. It's Hans Zimmer for you.
It's good fun. I mean, the first 2 movies, I think, the third movie as well, they're good fun movies, but then they did the 5th and 6th one, and I was like, I don't even know, bro.
Are you sure it got to number 6? Bloody hell, I don't think I've seen them then.
I haven't seen them.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Well, good for her. I think she's exploding in the scene now, so good for her, man.
No, definitely. I think the role that she will play will suit her, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Daddy, finished. Shesh. Raisins. You just ate all the raisins. Other movie, TV. The Boys season 2 released, coming out soon as well. So that's interesting.
Awesome. Yeah. Season 2, September, right? I'm looking forward to that. That was a great show. Seth Rogen still, right? He's still producing and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
No. Daddy! What's wrong? Oh, I have to cover the face. We made an agreement. Give me. Go on, there you go. Take it. What do you want? Alright, let me see what she wants, bro. Give me a second. But yeah, cool. Let us know about your thoughts on the season 1. And
yeah, no, I loved it, man. I loved it. It was definitely. I remember as soon as it starts, it gets into this whole realism of even they touched on Me Too movements and all that sort of stuff that was happening. People getting abused within that superhero thing. Just a different perspective on things, and I had a corporate touch in the sense that it became business. It was an interesting. It was definitely a different twist on this superhero world, which I thought was awesome. I need to go back and rewatch it because I remember at the end, spoiler alert, that his wife, the butcher or whatever his name, his wife was end up having an affair with the main guy. I forgot their names, right, man.
Yeah. They had a kid.
So yeah, they had a kid. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes because he had the whole time you thought that guy killed his wife, but instead they were together. So. Interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I need to get my hands on it. I need to watch season 1 again just to get a refresher because that was a good show.
No, definitely. I really enjoyed that first season. It was proper violent and intense, and so much was happening. Oh man, yeah, it was full on. Definitely.
Show. Yeah, definitely a good show. I watched. Have you ever watched Sinners on Netflix?
Nope.
I just watched season 3. It's not
Was it
bad.
good?
I think season 1 of all these things were the best, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like by the time they get to season 3 and 4, like they did with what's the other one I watched? 13 Reasons Why. I think they just drain it too much, and then they add too many narratives, and it's just kind of like, oh, I've had enough. I mean, it's a watch, I guess, but it was a watch again. I guess if you haven't seen it, basically it's kind of like a thriller, a murder thriller sort of thing, and the detective, it emphasizes a lot on the killer and his path.
Okay.
Like, because it's always emphasizes on the fact that the killer does a horrific act, but doesn't know why, because they just seem like a normal person. But when the detective that digs into their head and realizes something that's happened in their past that has simulated the murder that they've done. So anyway, it's been like that for 2 seasons. Jessica Biel is, I think, as a is like producer or whatnot. She was in the first season. I think this season was more about that detective getting in so deep as he has in the previous cases. This one had more of an impact on him, mentally for him, because of how deep he's been getting.
Okay.
So it's good. I mean, it's a good watch, but I think, no more, I guess, man, because it's just getting boring now. It's getting boring. So that's something that's been keeping me busy anyway. I just kind of binged through that last week.
Okay.
What else have I been watching? Still watching Naruto, which is awesome. Still getting,
finding
loads
that
of episodes of that. That's awesome.
You enjoying it?
Yeah, Naruto's awesome. I'm just kind of getting through it. I think there's been loads of filler episodes. Now I'm getting a bit more back into the story episode in regards to the main characters. So loving that. I'm trying to think what other movies I watched this week. I think I watched some new movies or old movies. What did I watch? I watched that movie with the Spike Lee movie. What was that called?
Five Bloods.
Yeah, Five Bloods, yeah.
Good.
That was good. That was okay. I mean, it got a little bit slow in the beginning, and I think around this whole Black Lives Matter movement at the moment, it kind of relates or touches on that a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what's a fact or what's not. Obviously, the Vietnam War was a fact, but it was interesting on things. So I don't know what facts that were used, but it was an interesting... some facts were interesting. Like there was a part where they were in Vietnam, and then the Vietnam radio or whatever, the local radio cast, they were saying to all the black soldiers, they were saying it was a time when Martin Luther King died. Was it Martin Luther King or Malcolm X? Martin Luther King died, and they announced it on the radio, and then the Vietnam radio was telling the black American soldiers, like, they just killed a precious figure in the black community in the US. They've suppressed your people for many, many years. Why do you come here and fight us? Why do you help them to come here and fight us? Like, it was deep. When I heard that, I was like, oh, that's pretty deep, and it's interesting. Like I said, I don't know if that's a fact or if that was just made up for the movie. I have no idea, but that's just such an interesting fact, if it was real, that Vietnam will use that to their strategy. Obviously, they won the war because of the jungle and the guerrilla fighters and the strategy and whatnot, but just using that fact and just taking half the American soldiers, like, their mind frame a little bit, like telling the black soldiers, why do you fight for them when they do this to your people, when they've just killed such a great figure? I was like, wow, that's fucking deep.
It's
that's
deep.
A great
it is deep. It's very
war
deep.
strategy.
But then it's a country that's been running off racism for centuries, bro. You know what I mean? And it's so difficult. I mean, now it's hit home even harder, you know what I mean? I mean, us being the brown people, it plays a part for all of us, you know what I mean? But it is so impactful that, these guys were taken from their homes, man. The more I watch, the more I learn, and, people are learning more now because they're actively learning now, you know what I mean? Workplaces are taking it on now. They don't realise what sort of mess you're getting yourself into now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the internet's helped a lot for spreading message. Okay, the internet's been there also for fake news, but there's a lot of real stuff that people do find out as well. And yeah, I mean,
Listen,
yes,
bro.
of course, America was founded on immigrants, and what happened to the Native Americans and whatnot, which was brutal. They're literally gone. But again, it's not. I know US is always in the spotlight, right, for racism.
But it's around the world, bro.
It's every country. every country, like I say, black people are racist, Indian people are racist, Chinese, everyone's racist. Everyone is racist. Yes, the skin color thing is one of the worst things, right? So everyone's got that, but even within communities, people are racist. Like I said, the spotlight's always on America. They choose to have the spotlight on them because they want to be the greatest nation. They do set the trends for movies, music, style, all that sort of stuff. So the spotlight's going to be on America. So when something, that's what I'm saying, if America's gonna have, they want the spotlight, they have the spotlight, then whatever messages they send, be it positive or negative, there's always gonna have a reflection, right? And it's always gonna be back on America, but it's always on there. And like I said before, you know, people pick and choose who they want to defend. You know, when there was racism against black people before, a lot of people didn't give a fuck. When it's against Muslim people, nobody cares. But when it's their own race, I'm against racism. I've seen it with, like, you know, I'm not going to name names, but I've seen it with some, like, for example, Chinese MMA fighters that I follow, right? And I've never, ever heard a peek out of anything on them. But when it came to this coronavirus and Chinese people started getting racially abused, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm against racism. And I'm like, bro, where was you when all those Muslims got shot or when the black people got shot? So I don't like that, oh, now you choose to be against racism because your people involved. Like, racism is wrong regardless of what culture is involved.
Exactly.
Like, if it's not your people or not. So I sometimes, listen, it's cool to spread the awareness, but it's like, I've noticed that you just done it because your people has been attacked recently. Now let's see if you stick to your narrative and cover it if a Muslim people got, because, you know, if some Muslims, you know, God forbid anything happened, but if some Muslims got shot, would you still cover it and be like, no, I'm against racism? Or would you be, all of a sudden you're silent now? And I've seen that with loads of friends of mine as well. But yeah, I mean, that movie again was, you know, like I said, if that was a real strategy from the Vietnam people, it's like, that's a great war strategy. And I don't know if it's real or not, but, you know, they were very strategic during that war. They used their surroundings, and if they use that as a mind strategy, it's amazing. Well, war's not amazing, but strategy is obviously amazing. Even with MMA and whatnot, you know, we've all seen Conor McGregor using mind tactics in the octagon and whatnot, and, you know, he was able to just get in people's heads and make them make mistakes. And, you know, Jose Aldo was one of the greatest featherweights of all time, and Conor knocked him out in like 11 seconds just because he got in his head so much. He just rushed in. So, well, I mean, maybe he got into his head, or maybe he just got in with a clean shot. But mind games, man. You know, mental warfare is a real thing. And when I saw that in that movie, I was like, wow, that's some crazy strategy, whether it was real or not. If it's fake, then, you know, it's fake news. But if it's a real strategy, it's amazing.
It's a message.
I like Spike Lee anyway.
Yeah, Spike Lee is awesome, bro. He's an awesome director. He's one of the greats. On other news, Hasbro and Back to the Future are teaming up to bring out the transforming DeLorean. Bro, I was so excited for that news, bro.
That's it. Yeah.
So excited to see that. I can't wait to grab me one of those. But yeah, transforming DeLorean for the 35th anniversary of Back to the Future. I don't even know why I didn't even think. Well, I've seen images of it before, so it's nice to see it come together. I'm actually working on a sketch currently of one of the toys. And Hasbro, shout outs. Send me one now, please.
Hey man, imagine they put that in a movie once. I mean, you don't really need to have Doc Brown and them or Marty McFly in it, but it's like, oh, we found this back in 1985. One of the Transformers saw it, you know, thing, and then stayed hidden. And then 2021, he decided to come out and could you imagine that, bro? Going back into you know, you could. Hey, listen, I don't want to come off topic, but I'm still on topic.
Yeah.
I heard something about they're looking to get Axel Foley involved in Bad Boys, the next Bad Boys. I don't know if that's true, but could you imagine that, bro? Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, and Eddie Murphy. Come on.
Eddie Murphy.
Why not?
That's you're crossing over whole new territories now, bro. If they do that, bro.
Listen, I know Bad Boys and Beverly Hills Cop has a different feel to it.
Yeah.
End of the day, it's still comedy because those guys are funny. They're comedy movies, right?
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop was, you know, in Beverly Hills, so it had a bit more brightness to it. And yeah, and Bad Boys was all like Miami, drugs and all that sort of stuff. You can still combine the two, man. How funny would that be, man? I want to see, like, because there's all these things about Eddie Murphy coming back. I really want to see him make a comeback. He made that film what's the one on
Dynamo.
Netflix?
My name's
What's it
Dynamo.
called? Dynamo, yeah. And he was brilliant in that, bro. It just reminded me of old school Eddie Murphy. So I say, and you know, there's rumors of him coming up with a stand-up special. I say, do it, man. Bring it all back, man. Bring it all back. I want to see it. If they cross over, why not?
No, definitely, man. It'd be awesome. So that was that happening. 38th anniversary of the movies Blade Runner and The Thing. So that's damn, man, same age as me, these movies, man. Did you see that little interview with Patrick Stewart and Henry Cavill?
No. What was that about?
So it's quite interesting. I did a Superman sketch and I did one of Henry as well. And he talks about the responsibility of the character and how it's made a massive change for him playing this character and what opportunities it's brought to him, but the responsibility that you carry when you burden this character as well, because you know the guy Superman is a wholesome character, you know what I mean, he's an alien from another world, but he's actually more human than anybody else, you know what I mean. His morals and everything, and the way he carries that character with him, man, he's really proud that he got to play Superman. I think anybody would be, you know what I mean, but for him it was like it's a massive thing, and he hopes to. He said it in the interview. He hopes to play it in many years to come, and I'm like, dude, man, give this guy Man of Steel 2. Why are we still waiting around for?
So dumb. I think also with a character like Superman, Captain America, or superheroes in general, it is a burden on the actor. Now you can't pick a basic Superman. You can't pick. Now when I mean basic, you can't pick a Superman. Honestly, that outside of the role, he's a prick. He's not good to fans. He causes trouble. He's on coke. Listen, people could do whatever they want with their lives, but when you're portraying that character on the screen and then off screen, you're a prick. I know it's a movie. I know it's acting. I know. But you're still portraying a hero, man. And if a little kid sees you, he's going to see you as Superman or whatnot. You can't be on crack cocaine or whatnot.
No, and listen, he says that.
I tell you what, I was watching, it's funny you bring this up. I was watching an old Chris Rock comedy special the other day. I feel it was from early 2000s or something. Yeah. Anyway, one of the parts where he was like, this was when Christopher Reeve.
I'm just going to grab the door. Somebody's at the door. So continue.
Alright, cool. Yeah. I was watching it, and there was one of those, it was just probably when Christopher Reeve broke his back and became paralyzed. And that was one of these parts. He was like, Superman is now paralyzed. Like, he wasn't even acknowledging that Christopher Reeve is an actor, whatever. Superman holds such a demeanor, man. He holds such a presence on the actor that when that his part was about Christopher Reeve's Superman cannot walk anymore. How crazy is that? And that's crazy. Like, I think it's part of his bit, because like, he's such an indestructible character. He's such a humble, wholesome presence of a character. It's crazy when you just think, oh man, the guy who played him cannot walk, and he played Superman. So that's why I think there's a big responsibility on playing superheroes in general, but characters like Superman and Captain America and whatnot, I think it holds extra burden on the actors, that, you know, like, the casting has to be done right. They need to be good people outside of the camera as well as inside. You know, Robert Downey Jr. changed his ways and whatnot. I mean, but I in some weird way that suited him as Iron Man, because that's like Iron Man. Like, he was a fiend, he was this and that, and then he changed his ways. And Downey Jr. kind of done the same thing. So, no, it's interesting. I've been thinking about this, man. Actually, it just popped into my head thinking about it, man. These actors that portray superhero characters, there's a bit of a burden, man. They almost become like, you know, a role model. You almost become a role model because you're portraying a superhero who is a role model, who gives people hope. So it's an interesting fact. I wonder if they consider that when they're doing the casting for these characters, be it a Batman, or when Marvel says, all right, you're going to be Captain America for the next 10 years, you better make sure you're in good tact, boy. So it's an interesting thing. I guess the only ones that can mess up is villains, I guess. Anyway, it's no excuse to mess up, but interesting. I hope Henry Cavill gets the Man of Steel 2.
Yeah, me too, man. I want him back, man. I need to see him on the big screen again. I think he carries the character really well. he always had the look, bro. I mean, from Man of Steel, it's still one of my favorite movies. I love that movie, man.
Brilliant.
So it'd be good to see him, you know, let him have his time with it, man. The guy's so important to the role. I think he plays a key element to the characters. So I'd love to see him come back again. Oop, see Daisy. Yeah, and I'd love to see him back on that. So that was one interesting interview with Patrick Stewart. Sorry, bro. We just got some.
Why is it with Patrick Stewart? He's the Professor X, right?
Yeah, Professor. I don't know. It was an actor on actor. It was on Vanity Fair.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those ones. I think. Another thing, Ghostbusters. So the new Afterlife one. I don't know if you've been watching Reunite Apart.
No, what's that?
Oh, bro, I need to send you the link, bro, man. I've had so much fun watching them. There's an actor named Josh. Hold on, let me get his. I know,
the guy who gets all the actors together from old movies, yeah. I haven't been watching them. No, they're on YouTube, right?
So you've seen Goonies and you've seen Back to the Future, right?
I'll be honest with you. I saw them. I didn't watch the whole thing. I need to go back and watch the whole thing.
I think you should watch all of them. They're amazing. His recent episode was for Ghostbusters, and oh man, it was just to see Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and all the actors come back together again. It was really exciting. It's fun, and they're still quite vibrant, man. They remember their roles, and there was a lyric that Winston messed up. He made me laugh, but no, bro, it's called Reunited Apart. They've done Lord of the Rings. They've done Splash, Tom Hanks Splash. They did Back to the Future. They did Goonies. They did what else was there? There's something else. Recent one. The recent one's Ferris Bueller. Yeah, bro, moist. But check it out, guys. It was absolutely awesome. But there's a section where Dan Aykroyd talks about giving credit to Egon, who played the character. His name is hold up, man. Let me get his name. I don't want to lose. Harold Ramis. A really nice tribute in there in the new movie, so that's pretty good and exciting. Shit, I mean, last week was Nabil's birthday as well, so don't want to leave it on a downer. But
rest in peace, brother.
Yeah, so that was he would have been 38. Yeah, that was. I think that kind of hit me in the beginning of the week. You know, you forget about how life continues and goes on, and you know, he's never forgotten. He's always in my thoughts. He helped me in my creative journey, I suppose I say. He used to always make me laugh, but he was creative, man. I miss his creativity. That's one thing I miss about him. But yeah, he would have been 38, and yeah, no, I had some good conversation with some old friends recently. Well, people from school getting in contact, and like, yeah, it's been an interesting week, man. It's been full on. It's been busy. I found some really cool Spider-Man cards today as well, cleaning up. I don't know if they're mine, but bro, did you receive any posts from us?
No, not yet. I mean, I'm checking my post bot tomorrow. I wonder if it's coming, but I think a lot of things are delayed, bro. A lot of it, especially coming from UK, and it's very much delayed during this time period. Because you haven't received any posts from me either, have you?
No.
Yeah, things are delayed, and I've been waiting for some other stuff that's been ages. So I think when it's crossing continents, like I'm getting stuff from Asia, but crossing continents, it's taken a long time. Let me check my post tomorrow anyway.
Alright, let me know. But yeah, I found these cards today. I don't even know how this ended up in this house, bro. But I've got a box full of Sassa's comic books and artwork. So that was when awesome. It was in the loft in Mum's house. And I'm cleaning up, and I'm like, what the hell is this box doing here? So I'm going to take it back to home tomorrow. And I'm going to meet Sasa, so I'm going to give it to him. But I found these in the box. I don't know if they're his or not. I will message him, but these awesome shiny cards, man. Who remembers these shiny cards?
Oh my god, yeah, shinies.
The shinies, bro. Look at this. Storm.
They must be yours, man. I don't think they're his.
I don't know, man. Even Colossus
What year?
as a vampire.
What year are they dating back to? Do you know?
94. Yeah, they're mine, man.
It must be, bro. Bloody
Yeah,
hell,
yeah.
stickers and stuff. I just remember when we used to be so much collecting them, going to sweet shops, stealing them.
Oh, yeah. Bro, you know what?
So much shit, man. Oh my god, man. Just anything to get the collection. Yes, bro. Yes, I remember that. That's exactly what came to head, because I remember we stole some of those stickers. Holy shit. Batman Forever. Bloody hell.
But there's
That's
a
crazy.
few missing on this, and I'm trying to look for them on eBay. They're hard to find, man.
Do you know what Asher found of mine? The 1998 England World Cup coins. Do you remember those?
Oh,
I had the
yes.
whole collection. He found that. I had the whole team, 1998 England football World Cup team, and he found it. And I'm like, bro, just keep that, man,
Yeah.
in the basement somewhere. Years to come, that's gonna be worth something.
Of course.
I wonder how much. I wonder how much it'll be. Like, if only they won the World Cup. Could you imagine if they won the World Cup and I had all those coins, bruv? I would have sold that. Listen, I don't mean to be bad. I'm not a football guy, so I don't give a shit about selling that stuff. But in the future, anyway, I will sell that. But if that team won the World Cup and we have that collection, fortune, brother, fortune.
No,
anyway,
of course.
it's so good to see those things.
No,
I
definitely
remember
is.
collecting, man. I love collection. You know what? I could imagine if I was still in it too. I mean, now I still am in it. I'm technically collecting all these hot toys. Like, you get more money, you collect other things, man. I got
No, of
my
course, of course.
Thanos Endgame coming. My Joker's here. My Punisher War Machine. I'm loved, bro. This week's been a geeky week with all my products coming in. I'm loving it. Like, that Joker is my favorite. I look at it all the time. It's my favorite figure right now, man. And I'm looking at my Endgame Thanos, and I'm like, he's huge, bro.
Is that
I
the
love
Endgame
geeking out,
Thanos,
man.
yeah?
What's up?
Was that the Endgame Thanos, yeah?
That was the Endgame Thanos. The one before he got bad. Hot Toys messed up. I feel pissed off at them, but they've made two. One where he's busted up, and then one where he's just thing. I'm like, one you just. It's such a rip-off, to be honest with you. And I'm like an idiot. I bought both of them because I'm a fool. But that's why, because there's fools like me that would do it. So they're smart, but it's literally the same figure, but one of them's busted up Thanos. One is the one that starts it. But anyway, it's awesome, bro. It is really cool. I got him sitting next to my Guardians of the Galaxy Thanos. I'm a fan of Thanos now, man. I think he's one of the best villains ever. In a comic book, best comic book movie villain ever. I know Joker's up there. Joker's on a different level, but I think just as a general villain, he's just impactful. I'm a fan of him now. So it's been a geeky week in regards to figures, bro. The reviews will be up, right? Punisher War Machine review, Hot Toys review will be up, and then the Endgame Thanos review will be up, and I will send you the Joker Hot Toys one as well when I get a chance.
No, awesome. I'm just gonna leave it on the note of Cobra Kai season 3 on Netflix.
Awesome. So wait, they were on YouTube before.
Yeah.
Now they're on Netflix. Was there some kind of contractual thing, or
Well, I think
are they allowed
budget,
to
innit?
take
Who was
it?
given the budget, isn't it?
Do you think Netflix said, hey, here's some money, like, carry on what you're doing, here's some more money, do what you need to do?
And stream it on our service because more people watch it on Netflix. It'll have a higher rating.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? People
Well,
move it over there.
I don't know how many people have subscribed to YouTube. I don't subscribe to YouTube movies or none of that stuff.
Well, no, nor do I, because we've got all those other services that we use. I mean, you've got to be smart on what you pick. You know what I mean? And yes, I enjoyed on YouTube. The subscription service, that was probably the best thing they had going. So they should have actually thrown more money to them to keep that on. But Netflix just, they're monsters at the moment. They're juggernauts. And over COVID, they must have made some bucks, bro.
Serious bucks, yeah. Because Disney Plus, to be honest with you, bro, I know I got moist. I know Mandalorian's sick. I love the X-Men cartoons. I went through the Spider-Man cartoons. I am currently going through the MCU. But to be honest with you, the new stuff needs to start coming, man. I know things were on hold, but man, they need to push the new stuff because, it's not, it could be forgotten about. I haven't logged in for a week now, ever since I finished the Spider-Man cartoons. I've had no reasons to log in, so Yeah, they need to step up. But hey, that's a brilliant thing, man. Shit, bring it on Netflix. I'm happy. I'm looking forward to it, man.
No,
I
exactly,
love
same here.
Ukai's show. When I first saw it, it did have this cheesiness to it, but I loved it. Such a great show. So keep the same cheesiness. And just keep it up. Yeah, I think it's a great show.
No, definitely. All right, guys. I got to head off. I got to start cleaning again. We've got some guests over as well. So, guys, remember SoundCloud, guys. You can stream us on SoundCloud now. All of our episodes from episode 100 are all on SoundCloud. But if you continue to see us on YouTube, continue, guys. Subscribe, like, follow, dislike, share. Let other people know if you like the content that you see here. But no, massive thank you to everybody who does watch. Like, I think we have a voice here, and we are able to say what we want to be able to share our opinions on here, guys. So it's nice that we have a couple of you guys that follow and you watch every week, and no, definitely thankful for that. So guys, have an awesome start to the week. G-Man?
Yep,
catch you up.
all good, man.
Yeah?
Stripes.
Alright, bro. One love. Peace, guys.
Out. Peace.